Hello everyone, I'm Jack Newton, and last night I got to see the new Coen Brothers movie, Hail Caesar, and I'm here to give you what I thought about it because I got to see this before Kung Fu Panda 3, of course, and I am seeing it this weekend. I promise you that, and I will make my review for that when that comes out eventually. But for now, I'll talk about Hail Caesar, which I saw last night, and I put my hair. I just got a shower, really. This is an interesting film. Like, to start off on the bat of it all, I will say this: it's a solid movie. It's a solid movie. It's a well-made movie. I can see this movie having more good than bad. But the problems are still pretty big and pretty noticeable, and I cannot help but feel like point them out. The story you want to know, essentially, if you want to know, is like it's a Coen Brothers. Of course, it's a Coen Brothers movie. It's going to be very interesting, a bit more out of the box, a bit more not like your typical type of tribute movie. This is sort of 1940s and 50s filmmaking, with all the type of movies that they had back then, like Ben-Hur and Ten Commandments, and all those big biblical epics that they had during then, or those unique, extravagant Hitchcock type of movies they had during then, and all those type of Hollywoodized movies where everything was very much poignant, very, very all unique, and this is just a love letter for that era from the Coen Brothers, and good enough. I thought that was fascinating, and the cast I loved. Oh my god, the cast was great. And essentially the story, like I apologize for not getting the story yet. The story is essentially in that era. There's the character of Josh Brolin's character. He's like this filmmaker. He's not really a filmmaker, but he's the type of guy who gets stuff done. Like if there's a big problem on set of making this movie, then they bring in him. Because he's almost like the big gear. He's almost like the big gear in the rotation area, where he can really make everything come through. He's the guy who really sees things coming through. He's almost like the idealist. He knows how to get stuff done. He's very much the plumber for filmmakers. If there's a big problem, they bring him in, essentially. And during the making of this movie, the director of this movie, played by Ray Fiennes, they're trying to make this movie, of course, and then eventually, one of the big actors in this movie, they're making this movie called Hail Caesar, of course. The main star, played by George Clooney, in this film gets captured. He gets taken away, and it's almost like this: we gotta rescue him, we gotta return him back. But it's like the way it cuts towards George Clooney's his experience being captured is much more laid back and not as brutal as you may think it is, oddly enough. And I thought that was interesting. The cast is superb. Everyone really works at their strength in this movie. They all have a moment to shine. They're all really, really great. This movie has a great cast, but I don't think they know how to use them well enough. Like, Ray Fiennes is great, but you get at least a solid 5-6 minutes with him. Jonah Hill and Scarlett Johansson, you only get 2 minutes of them as a whole. And that's not really a big spoiler there, but for me to be held back by what I can say because of a spoiler, that's annoying. But I'm gonna have to break it for this. Okay, it's not like a big spoiler, but the utilization of actors like this and to give them such minimal screen presence is kind of upsetting, because even though you really do appreciate for what they give in those scenes, and those moments were great. I loved Scarlett Johansson in this movie. Like, she brings out really tight, she almost has like a weird Boston type of accent in this movie, but I really dug it. She had a lot of sass and attitude, but she was still very strong and nobilic. I really loved her. I loved Channing Tatum in this movie. This kid, oh man, who Ray Fiennes directs in the movie, holy shit was he a good actor. I was so amazed by him, and like they had this in the movie as a whole, they had this kid in comedic scenes, and he said he was great. But they had him in dramatic parts, and they're like, oh my god, he's a terrible actor. So there's a lot of great comedy there with this actor, and I think I have his name up here. I could be wrong, and it is Alden Enrich. Yeah, I think that's it, and he is shockingly great. I was so amazed by him. Josh Brolin, I love. Oh my god, I love Josh Brolin in this movie. And George Clooney was just so funny and laid back about it. There's something so cool, funny, and laid back about George Clooney in this movie. I loved him about that. And I would say, for a good 30 of this, for the first 30 minutes of this movie, I would say I was really on board for what the story was going for and the whole tone and focus for where it was going. I was really enjoying it, and I was really anticipating it in typical Coen Brothers fashion, because they make very, very weird films. I've only seen, I haven't seen that many Coen Brothers films. I've only seen probably the most notable works like Fargo, Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men, what the hell is that movie called with Brad Pitt's, or whatever it is. I forgot. I'm so sorry. But I've only seen the small handful of their films, like 5, 6, 7. Oh, and A Serious Man, I've seen that one. And True Grit. This is their 17th. This is their 16th or 17th film, amazingly enough. And this isn't one of their best, but it's not one of the worst as well. It's like, it's a movie that really does fall into their medium plate as a whole. But as a whole, when you watch it, it feels like there's something missing from it. It feels like it's really missing that anchor or that spine that really keeps it going through. I'm not saying it's inconsistent, but it feels loose. And it feels there's some directions where it goes into. I don't see the reasoning why they go into there. And some things are either left unsolved or kind of useless. And I think that's a bit of a that's not really a good thing to do, to be honest. I'm just like, what the hell? And as a whole, I can't help but feel the film has such great promise and such great utilization, but they don't know where to have it go. That's the problem with this movie. Is like they know how to put it up, but I don't know. A lot of people have been saying it's a solid movie, but there's something just kind of not great about it. And there is something that feels loose there. There's something the film as an end and as a whole feels, that's a big problem with this movie. It feels incomplete. It feels like, I know Coen Brothers type of films end so weirdly and extravagant, but this movie ends on such a weird note that you can't help but go like, what the hell? What was the inspiration for making the movie end like that? It's very weird, and I don't know why they chose to do that type of direction for the film. But as a whole, it's really weird because this movie has so much good in it. Like, it has a solid, understandable plot, and such great actors, and such great dialogue, and such great utilization, like the great tribute. There's a lot of big problems, like the direction of choosing, and the cast is not fully utilized. Well, they are utilized greatly. They're utilized. Fucking noise outside. I'm sorry. There's construction outside my house. I'm sorry. Just they don't utilize the cast as great as they should have been. And as a whole, I gotta say, this is a solid, good movie, but in the end, I'm gonna say this is a solid movie, but in the end, it's not perfect, and it's not without its own flaws. And in the end, I'm gonna give Hail Caesar, I'm gonna give it a solid 69. Don't laugh, I know that's an appropriate number. You know, I'll give it a solid 70. It's a thoroughly good film. I'm gonna say it's a thoroughly good film, and I would recommend to see it in the theater. But I don't know about seeing it for a second time, because a big part of film is fucking destruction. Oh well, that's just my review for the movie. Everyone, I really do hope you enjoy it. I'm sorry if I did get really sidetracked by outside stuff that shouldn't matter in the end. But in the end, for me, I did in the end thoroughly enjoy Hail Caesar, but it's not without its flaws. And in the end, that's just my opinion on the movie as a whole. Everyone, I really do hope you enjoy it, my review, and I hope you. And in the end, I do recommend the movie. However, I don't know for sure if you yourself are going to love it or not, especially if you are a Coen Brothers movie fan or not, because it's a really weird movie as a whole. It's a very odd movie, I'll say. And in the end, that's my thoughts on it, and I'll see you until my review of Kung Fu Panda 3, everyone. I really do hope you enjoyed my review. Until then, bye!